And welcome back to SWAT Martial Arts, the YouTube channel where we go over everything martial arts. In this video, we're going to be talking about the sword, as you can tell by the title. In this case, I have a katana, but we will be talking about obviously more than just the katana. As this is the weapon review series, I believe this is episode 3, I'm not too sure. The criteria stays the same, which is multiple ways to use, harm yourself, the ease of learning, and the practicality. And jumping right into it, as this needs no special introduction. The multiple ways to use is you obviously have the slashing or the cutting, you have the poking or the stabbing, and then you have the blocking. The only problem I could see with most of those is the blocking one, where the more you block with it, like any other sharp object, it could dull the blade, which could make it less effective over time, unless you are getting into fights rather uncommonly, as there's times where you can sharpen and maintain your blade. But, maybe we don't have that luxury. You're walking down the street, you have to fight some bad guys, and then like 10 seconds later, you have more groups. In that case, your blade is going to be dulled. But other than that, we have the records saying, and the history saying that swords are very effective, as they were used a shit ton back in early history, where, they didn't have guns, and they had swords of all kinds, the katanas, long swords, broadswords, anything like that. So obviously history proves that they are effective. The next category we have is the harm to self. Now, as I have, messed around with this and had a lot of fun with it on many occasions, I have never accidentally touched what would be the sharp part of the blade. The only time I really think that you're going to hurt yourself is if you are not ready for something and it gets deflected back and pieces of the blade come off and hit you, or you're not ready for something and it comes back and hits you in the head. Other than that, the only times is if you're going to go into the sheath of the scabbard and your hand is a little bit too high, whether you're going in or taking it out. But other than that, I can't really think of another time that this would be hurting you yourself. But as I have not used a sword of any kind in actual training, I guess, I don't really know of any other ways that you can potentially get hurt. And with that being said, we're going to go right into ease of learning. Now, with the sword, the ease of learning is kind of, I would say, simple. Because if you give someone a knife who is, old enough to understand things, they can probably tell, hey, don't touch the sharp part. And if they do, and I'm assuming that you aren't, uncareful with weapons, you would probably explain to someone, hey, don't touch the sharp part. That's how you get hurt. The same deal with the sword. If you give this to someone, it is a high chance that they would probably understand, oh, hey, I hit bad guy with this part, or this part, and if someone gets hit me, I hold it out and let it take the hit. Now, are there going to be special ways you do things? Obviously, there are with anything. But just to find this on the side of the road for whatever reason, you can pick this up and be relatively successful with it. Are there surprises? Obviously, there are surprises, but again, that's not what we're going for. You are going to be probably highly successful if you just found this. Now, with that being said, practicality is the issue here. There aren't many times where you would need a sword or carry a sword. I don't think I've ever seen anyone carry a sword unless like role-playing or anything. And also, a weapon, this isn't a category, but you would probably want to conceal it. That way, if shit hits the fan, people don't say, he's got a weapon, let's go after him. A sword, especially like this one, you can't really conceal. You can put it down your pant leg, but then you're going to be walking weird. So the practicality is definitely where it takes the hit. But I mean, it's just a big ass knife. But also, you don't need a big ass knife. And if you do, for like work, get a machete or just a nice fixed blade. But the practicality for a sword, even this one, which is relatively small compared to what swords can be and what are, you're not really going to be carrying this around. However, while it may not be anymore, this is a different kind of sword. I don't know if it's still a katana, as it is. Oh boy, hold on now. The sheath is broken here. As it is smaller than the other one by quite a bit. This is more practical because it is smaller. However, it's still very strange. If you saw this in someone's hip, you'd be like, well, what the hell is this all about? But if you were to carry a sword, probably the smaller would would be the better. But then you also get to the point where it's not a sword anymore, it's a machete. But the practicality aspect of a sword is definitely the, the heavy hitting part where you're not going to use a sword unless, for whatever reason you have it. With all that being said, I can't really think of anything else. That concludes my review of the katana, and I guess a tiny katana, I don't know what it's called. If there's anything that I missed or anything that you think I should add to the criteria of ranking it, which I'm not going to rank it. Well, actually, you know what? I will rank it. And I'm going to rank it a C. Mainly because you are not going to carry this. But it gets the C because if you were to carry it, it would be pretty effective, as there's everything you can do. You can block, stab, strike, anything like that. It's hard to grab, and then the harm itself is very low, unless of course you are rushing and you cut yourself unsheathing it or sheathing it. And then the ease of learning is very simple. For all those reasons, this is going to get a C. Now, that is it for this video. If there's anything that you think I missed or that I should add to the criteria or remove, again, leave that in the comments. Other than that, have a fantastic day. I'll see you guys in the next one.